One of my favorite games as a kid, when I was still young and barely able to tell the difference between 30 and 60 frames per second, was the original Asteroid game. The one where you're a little triangle and the asteroids are lines and you gotta blow them the heck up. Yeah, to be honest, it's still one of my favorites, but I digress. Mad Capacity's Astervoid 2000 takes the core of the 1979 Atari classic, flying around in a void surrounded by asteroids, and turns it into a 4-player deathmatch, or turns it into a single-player survival mode against waves of ships and space rocks. The combat mechanics are the same for both modes. The combat mechanics are the same between the modes. Each ship has a shield that can take one hit, and then any hits after that causes the ship to blow up. Players can tap a button to shoot or hold it down to charge up a big blast that skips right past the shield and blows up any ship that it hits. You can also dash while the blaster is charged to do a charging attack that blows up whatever it touches. While you're shooting, there's a bit of recoil that pushes you backwards because, you know, you're in space and that's how physics works. And those are really the gist of the mechanics. The game's incredibly simple and the controls take some getting used to, but sitting on the couch with friends and playing it is just plain fun. The biggest problem that Astervoid 2000 has is that there's simply not enough to do in the game. There's not enough there, which I think is especially a shame because there's so much potential here for a larger selection of game modes that it's a bit puzzling that there isn't more to do. There's already a survival mode, but for some reason it's limited to single player. Make that multiplayer and ramp up the difficulty based on how many people are playing, and boom, you got something chaotic that people can play together and get better at together and probably play a lot more than they would single player. For versus modes, you could have domination, capture the flag, some kind of juggernaut game mode where you control this massive ship that already spawns periodically. Throw in some power-ups, different events that happen during matches. There's just so much here that could be done that it really puzzles me. Not to mention the fact that there's already a system for setting up teams for multiplayer. There's room. There's room for so many activities here. Astervoid 2000 is incredibly fine-tuned and responsive with great visuals, banging music, and an incredibly strong base for what could easily be an incredible and varied game, and I love what it has so far. The problem is, there's just not a lot there. Right now, the game's available on Steam for about $10. If you're interested in something to play with friends, pay very close attention to this one. If the developer gives this game more, it'll easily be worth picking up, especially if it stays at $10. And I plan on paying close attention to any news about further development, because I've got some hopes of being able to come back here and say more about it. There's so many room for activities. So many rooms. Jeez. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Be sure to check out the other content that we put out on this channel, and remember to drop me a line here on Twitter or through email with any game recommendations that you've got. You can find all that stuff down in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye!